Alrighty, so um, I wanted to do this video. It's relationship week, so we'll stick to the topics. Um, this one right here, I'm gonna do first on female consciousness. Okay, look out for the one on male consciousness right now. But I kind of want to talk about the state of the modern female consciousness in the Western world and other developing nations. I haven't traveled enough yet to really speak on other countries. I have gotten a bunch of feedback from a lot of people who travel, and you hear common themes. Um, but here's what's going on, okay? Right now, we're in a state, in a place right now in society where um, the mind control that has been put in place from the 60s, 70s, and 50s and 40s during the times when they were learning about Quotel Pro, you do your research, you'll learn that there was a period of time where the government was doing all this stuff, learning about psychology, how to manipulate it, how to program people, X, Y, Z. I know it might sound all creepy. I mean, it just is what it is. Just like you watch TV programs, you watch commercials and know all the words to the commercials, you know all the words to the music you listen to. That's all programming is. It's not even all that deep. I mean, you're listening to a rap song or you listen to a country music, whatever you listen to, rock and roll, you're being programmed there. You're just being programmed with something that you resonate with already. Now, what's happening is there's been this programming that's taking place that's really fucked with the minds of men and women, especially in our generation, because we are the ones who really grew up in the technological age, us people who were born from, I'd say, I mean, it's basically like 85 and up, 1985 up, all those people in that group. We grew up with uh, some form of technology for the most part. I know if you were born in 85, 86 maybe, or a little bit early 80s, you're with us, you know what I mean? Like, we're all in it together. We all grew up with cell phones. The only difference is the kids now got cell phones damn near coming out the womb. Like, my brother is 10 years old and he already has a cell phone, knows how to do everything on it. You know, these young kids are smart as anything. Anyway, so during that period of time, man, you know, a lot of things played out that really messed up with the psychology of women. Now, during that time, of course, you know, the feminist movement was booming. It began to take up the women's sexuality movement, um, the freedom of expression, civil rights. People don't know this. Well, a lot of people know this, but some don't. Really, they all snuck in behind civil rights, okay? When they passed the Civil Rights Act, and it was finally signed due to the work of mainly the civil rights movement, okay? The work that MLK, that Malcolm, all these people did created a lane so that when he finally signed the Civil Rights Act, the the Women's Rights Act came in there. All these other smaller groups came in behind the Civil Rights Act and was able to get their stuff signed off as well, okay? But I just want to point that out because they forget a lot of the time, these movements, who really pioneered this shit, okay? It was the civil rights movement and it was the blacks that were standing for equality that changed the game for everybody. So make sure you show that respect. I just want to let that be known because a lot of the time people run with these movements and forget the root of how this all played out. So that's that. I'm telling you, the current female consciousness now, after all this programming has been done, they've watched the Disney movies with the superheroes supposed to save them. They've learned how horrible men are. They see on CNN every day rape and all this stuff. They've been fed the whole idea of men are dogs. They've been total unaccountability for a lot of things. I noticed with I see a situation with women where they almost look at the man as the enemy in a lot of cases, aside from their brother or their guy friends. Any man that is aggressive or that acts in his manhood in this day and age is rare, and unless you're under the system's protect, like unless you're an athlete or something where the system likes you, or a cop or anything like that, you businessman, whatever, outside of that, you get a tough rap. And right now what's going on is the female consciousness right now is, the main thing I want to point out is the heart chakra, the love is dying. To find a woman right now with an open heart, who isn't all on games, who isn't caught up in the fairy tale of all these quote unquote guys that want her, who isn't already given up because of failed relationships or guys that did her wrong before. It's really hard to find a woman who still believes in love, and who's still able to go beyond her genetics, which really are geared towards finding the most successful and the most attractive and the most dominant, really, male within the society. Which would be cool if it wasn't for the fact that the most dominant men in this society, we got to realize who's running this society. Well, right now it's your president, Donald Trump. And if he's the staple for what women should move towards, I'm a little bit worried. Because we need to move away from this love of money and love of success and him wearing a tie and a suit. And we got to figure out who this guy is. You know what I mean? And what's going on is you can't even get to know the female, and the female can't even get to know the guy, because there's so much programs and bullshit in her head that before you can even but by the time you talk to her, she's already blocked you off, because she's already assumed you were 8 other guys, or you were the guy last time that approached her. So, you know, I bring this up because I'm going to talk about direct versus indirect. And I wanted to provide some context, because I'm all for going direct when you want to approach and get to know a woman in XYZ. I think it's efficient. I think it's honest. I think it's genuine. The problem is, though, when you're dealing with the woman who might be available, who might be a great option for you, but she has so much programming and bullshit in her mind, you can't go direct because she'll cut you off. And let me give you an example, because I didn't even go direct. This is how crazy it is. I'm coming up the elevator, I'm walking. Girl has a bright red dress on. And I'm not trying to get in a girl. And I just came back from the studio. By the way, my album is going to be amazing. Blue Infinity, get ready. It's coming like May 8th right now is the date, so get ready. Anyways, I'm like, damn, that's a nice, I was like, nice dress. I mean, just common, it was super bright red. That's what caught my attention. And I was like, man, she's wearing a completely red dress. I was like, hey, nice red dress, man. Joint just ignored me, like heard me and just ignored me like I was a peasant. Now here's the thing, I don't really give a fuck, because I don't need her acknowledgement. Who the fuck is she anyways? That's not the point. The point is the fact that she felt like that was acceptable. That's the problem. Is that we're in a state and in a period of time now where a woman can just, to be honest, from what I'm seeing from the collective consciousness, is women are looking at men as boys. You're treating men as like little boy, like their little nephew or something in a lot of cases. And it's not even on an equal level right now. It's almost as if when men and women both finally had equality, quote unquote, even though we're not equal, because we're not even the fucking same. Oh, we have a different body. That's another day. I can destroy your logic, okay? I'm already completely different than you in my physicality. Okay, if we talk about, well, that's only what's on the outside, what about what's on the inside of this shit? Look how much estrogen you produce. You know what I'm saying? Learn about male-female energy. One thing I suggest, Arash Dibazar, male-female energy. Arash Dibazar, male-female energy. You might not like it, you might like it. I don't care, it's the truth. This is universal law. This is what it is. There's a difference. And we need to learn the difference, because it's poisoning the consciousness of the female. She has no idea what her place is. She thinks she knows it all, which is really what's super sad about it, is she already made her mind up, and she's wrong as fuck. So let me tell you now, due to the state of female consciousness, it's important that you watch my video about direct versus indirect, because if you're a man who is a good person, who does want to help women and men in general, and wants to have good relationships and things like that, you're going to have to learn how to attract a woman without being upfront a lot of the time. Not because you want to do that, but because you have to beat, it's almost like you have to beat the programming in her just to, to meet her. You know what I mean? Because when she's being rude or not responding, you don't even get to meet her. She could be a great person, you guys can be great, but she's blocking herself off through ignorance. So my men, my women, my men out there though, for this video, and women listening about female consciousness, if you still got a heart, man, salute to you. If you're a woman who's smart, who's intelligent, who understands what's going on, oh my gosh, you don't understand how special you are. If you're a woman who still believes in love, the women out there who are in good relationships, women who aren't in relationships but are still good women and who still believe, hey, I'm gonna find the right guy when the time is right. I promise you, man, I promise you, beloved, you will find a man that nobody can even touch. I'm telling you, your friends are gonna be like, what in the world do you have? Because at the end of the day, no matter how crazy and all this BS in society, every man in his heart knows that the true righteous woman that's loving still, that's pure, that's good, she'll always have a place for a real man. And she will always find that right guy when the time is right. But ladies, don't let all this stuff fool you with these love and hip hop and bad girls, all this stuff where it looks like these pretty girls that are ratchet and all this are getting these men. I'm telling you, their lives are miserable. They're dealing with chaos. These men that they're dealing with ain't shit. You know, they're just doing a TV show to get some money. Look, for the real ones out there, for my real ladies, the state and the men, the state of the female consciousness is down, just like it is for the men. And with that understanding, man, make sure to watch my video on direct versus indirect, and make sure you keep educating yourself so that you know how to deal with the women of today, because it is a different time. It's a different game that's being played. I didn't make the rules, man. I just observed the game and I'm in it. So with that being said, man, I hope you enjoyed my video. Give me your feedback about the current state of female consciousness. You know, am I right? Am I wrong? I know I'm right, but whatever. With that being said, man, God bless. Let the God within you shine bright. And I'm going to talk to you guys soon.